welcome to another episode of the Bottom of the Stream Movie Show. My name is Adam.
My name's Nick. Welcome aboard.
I don't know why I said my name like that. My name is Adam.
Keeping
I just did.
Keeping it flexible.
How's things, Nick?
Flexible name. Yeah, good.
Excited?
Yeah, I'm always excited to talk about the movie of the week.
Me too.
And I think this will be an interesting movie to talk about.
I think you're right.
And I think we've had a really interesting start to the season.
Yeah.
For various reasons, if you've heard the first 3 episodes of this show, I think we're yet to find a terrible movie this season. But we're yet to find a good one.
Agreed.
We've had some promise. I think last week's movie, The Parts You Lose, was full of promise and then failed
to deliver
completely. So let's see what happens this week.
What happens this week. Because this week we're watching a film called Comes a Bright Day. That's actually what it's called. It was released in 2012. It is a 15. It runs for 1 hour and 31 minutes. And it's currently rated at 6.0 out of 10 on IMDb.
I clearly haven't done my research because
Okay.
I'm quite shocked how old this film is.
Yeah, it's 10 years old.
That's quite a long time ago.
It is 10 years ago. When everything was happy in the world. We had the Olympics. It was all great. I think it was the year I set fire to your kitchen carpet.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. All good fun. Good years. Good times.
Halcyon days.
Didn't mean to. Still feel bad about it. Don't even live there anymore. This film stars Timothy Spall. He plays a character called Charlie Morgan, not the female wrestler. Most famous, probably... It's tough to say what he's most famous for, because he's just been around forever.
I would say worldwide, probably that Harry Potter movie.
Yeah.
Where he turned into a rat.
Yes.
That's me offending all Harry Potter fans. Because I don't know their names. Sorry.
Nor do I. He did a film recently called Mr. Turner, which is an arty film. He was in Sweeney Todd with Johnny Depp. Secrets and Lies might be his most famous.
Yeah. Also, just tons of TV work over here.
Auf Wiedersehen Pet, loads of stuff.
For 40 years, this guy's been
he's just been around
on
and
TV and
he
movies.
Won't go away.
He's got a famous son.
Yep, Rafe.
Yeah, but
loads of
apple
stuff.
Don't fall far from the tree.
No, I have an issue with Timothy Spall.
Okay,
he makes me feel dirty.
I mean, I was gonna say this is a compliment, but I don't think anyone could take it as a compliment. He's grubby.
He is grubby, and I just don't like watching him because he makes me itch. He makes me look like he just stinks. I know it's really irrational, and he's probably a really nice guy. I just don't like him. And even talking about him now, I'm getting all itchy. I don't know what it is about him.
Well, welcome to the show.
Welcome aboard, Timothy Spall. You're welcome. Also stars Imogen Poots. She plays a character called Mary Bright. She's in 28 Weeks Later.
Yeah.
She's also in The Father with Olivia Wilde and Anthony Hopkins.
Cool.
Which won... Did he win the Oscar for it? He did win the Oscar for it a few years ago, I think. And she's also in a film called Green Room.
Yes.
You seen Green Room?
Yes, I have.
Directed by Jeremy Saulnier and written by Mason Blair.
She's also in The Outer Range, which has just dropped on Amazon Prime.
Yes, indeed. She is indeed. And then finally stars a guy called Craig Roberts. He plays Sam Smith, not the singer. He most famous for being in a film called Submarine.
That was Richard
Ayoade's
Ayoade's movie, wasn't it?
You seen it?
Yes.
I have as well, years and years
Yeah, I think probably pretty much when it came out.
Yeah, I think you're right. And he's also in The Fundamentals of Caring, which was also a highly regarded film a few years ago. This film was written and directed by a guy called Simon Aboud, Aboud.
Nice.
Do you know or are you aware of Simon Aboud?
I am not.
He is the father of Paul McCartney's grandchildren.
Oh, really?
He is married to Paul McCartney's daughter.
Oh.
And he has directed 2 of Paul McCartney's music videos.
Interesting.
Interesting indeed. Good fact, I thought.
That is a good fact.
Mary McCartney, I think her name is.
Okay.
Yeah. That's it. That's all I have about him. He has not really made any other films. But yeah,
so that's it. One and done.
He has made other films, but nothing you'd have heard of, I don't think. But yeah, he's married to Paul McCartney's daughter, Paul and Linda McCartney's daughter.
Okay. Excellent. That's an impressive fact.
Thank you.
What a good place to go for your Sunday dinner.
Oh yeah, can you imagine? Do you have a one-word review of Comes a Bright Day?
Weird title, weird movie.
Can we talk about the title before we start?
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Comes a Bright Day.
Yeah.
Grammatically incorrect.
Incorrect.
Did you say Mary's surname is Bright?
Yes.
Okay. Still doesn't really make sense.
It doesn't make any sense. I presume it's a quote, some sort of pretentious quote from something.
Well, there is quite a lot of pretentiousness at points in this movie,
There is.
which I will say, I'll say it now and when we get to them, didn't really fit. Like,
yeah, it's a heist movie.
When it just suddenly cuts to like soft focus either of a gem or of some lilies or orchids, and there's just you've got a like plinkly music in the background.
Plinkly.
Yeah, I was like, oh, this is a bit just artsy for no reason.
It's a British heist movie that's got artsy bits.
Yeah,
it's really weird. We talk about the
unbalanced, I would say, movie.
Do you want to talk about the generic movie posters? We never talk about the posters, but the posters are horrific.
Another reason to get in our Discord.
Yeah, the poster. It's
been a subject this week.
Yeah, it's bad. It's a bad poster.
There's more than one bad poster for this.
Yeah, there is, but the one I'm thinking of is the one that I'll put out on the socials. It's Sam Smith, Craig Roberts, who plays Sam Smith, looking out over the London horizon.
I guess.
But his own head is photoshopped onto his own body.
Yeah.
But bigger.
And once you've seen it,
you can't miss it.
It's like, he looks like, who was the comedian with the papier-mâché head?
Oh, Frank
Sidebottom?
Sidebottom.
Looks like him.
Yeah, it's just weird. It's like an oversized head on his own body. It's really weird.
Why are movie posters so shit?
And it's so generic as well. It's just a London skyline with the heads of the people behind him who's in the film. And then the tagline is always look for the hidden gem.
Okay.
That's our tagline. That's not theirs. That's not even what this film's about. They've stolen our tagline 10 years before we started making 8 years before we started making
unbelievable behaviour.
Disgraceful behaviour. Should we get into it?
I'm in.
Where's this film start, Nick?
We've got a voiceover.
Yep.
And we're then looking at a lovely brooch.
Yes.
It's a jewellery butterfly.
It's a bejeweled butterfly. It is.
And
Timothy Spall is admiring
we meet Charlie Morgan's, who is a jeweller.
Yes.
Played by Timothy Spall.
Yep.
And he is basically in awe of this piece.
Yes, he is in love with it by the looks of him.
And then he is talking to his assistant, Mary, and through a bit of exposition, we learn she is leaving in about 6 weeks.
Yes, she's going.
She's going to travel.
This film is set in a high-end London jewellery shop.
Yep.
And was filmed in a high-end London jewellery shop.
Oh, okay.
All of the jewellery in the film is real.
Oh, brilliant.
2 of the pieces in the film are worth more than the budget of the film.
Oh, okay.
That's crazy to me.
That is crazy.
They would just allow that to happen. But yeah, I thought that was a really interesting fact. Yeah, we'd learned that Mary's leaving, and then the film cuts to its title card. And then we meet Sam for the first time.
Yeah, he works at a hotel.
He works in a hotel. He's a concierge in a hotel.
Well, he's like a trainee.
Yeah.
He's like the concierge's boy.
Bitch boy.
Yeah.
That was my first job. It was.
Yeah.
I was a concierge in a hotel. So I related to this character.
Did you have like a horrible, really posh English guy bossing you around?
I had an horrible English guy. He wasn't posh. He was a dick. But he got sacked for stealing, so hey ho.
Oh, there you go.
He takes some breakfast up to a man in his hotel room. And then when he gets back to the concierge desk,
There's just like a random naked woman who walks past.
Yeah,
like,
that happens in hotels.
Just remembered. Sorry.
That happens in hotels. I got flashed a good few times in that when I worked there.
Yeah?
Yep. There's a story for another time. He gets given a watch by his boss. His boss is called Morgan. They call him Morgan. His name's Harry Morgan. Is it Harry?
I don't know if I got his first name.
I think it's Harry. It does come. It comes later on in the film. His boss is like this old. He's a concierge in a hotel, but he's an old English gangster type,
butler
type guy.
He's a man who knows people.
He knows everybody in London. Does everything for his guests. He's got a watch, a really expensive watch that needs to be altered for a guest before he gets back at 5 p.m. that evening, and he wants Sam to go and get it altered.
Yeah, I was a bit confused there because I was like, is he sending him to that place to the jewelry store?
Yeah.
But I don't think he was.
Yeah, he did. No, he did. He said, go and find Charlie at this particular shop. He'll help you out. He'll sort you out. And it turns out later on that the watch was brought there yesterday.
Yeah.
So why couldn't Charlie just alter the watch when he sold it?
Yeah, I don't.
Hey ho.
Yeah, fucking rich people. They don't think about this. Yeah.
So Sam leaves the hotel. He goes for a walk to this jeweler's that doesn't appear to be too far away. But then while he's on his way there, he decides to put the watch on.
Yeah, well, you get like a cool, in inverted commas, montage of London, and now Sam's doing a voiceover, and it's all like jaunty jazz music in the background. It's all really like fucking hipster, basically. Like, oh, here I am walking down Oxford Street in my periwinkles. And
fully three-piece suit,
Yeah.
fully suited up.
And like, London's my playground. You know, I want to be successful. All this sort of stuff. He takes his name badge off, doesn't he? Puts the watch on, pretends he's a big man.
Yeah, pretends he's a big bollocks.
I was starting to be put off already, just by the attitude of this film was starting to offend me.
Okay, interesting. Before he goes to the jewelers, he goes to a cafe. He meets it with one of his friends who runs a cafe.
Yeah.
Turns out their dream together is to open a restaurant. That's what they talk about, basically. They've this dream to do this between the two
Sam's
of them.
friend Elliot is a really talented chef.
By the looks but he only works in a dingy backstreet cafe.
Yeah.
But he's making good quality food. Mary comes in. She's left the jewelers for a minute to go and get some lunch. She straight away eyeballs Sam's watch. She spots it straight away that he's wearing. She's like, "Oh, we saw one just like that yesterday in my shop. Interesting."
He talks about how he's coy, isn't he? Oh yeah, I'm in the. Does he say the entertainment?
Yeah,
business?
He says he's an entertainment fixer.
Yeah.
He fixes things for the entertainment. He's quite a confident guy. He's not. He's a liar because he's lying about what he does.
Yeah, yeah.
He's very confident and upfront with his. He falls for Mary straight away. He's very much interested in her, and so much to the point where he asks her to go to a Foo Fighters gig with him
without saying the words "Foo" or Fighters.
Yeah, because the music's on in the background.
Yeah.
They never they talk about it quite a lot. This gig,
they have a couple of awkward conversations for that band.
They never mention the band name all the way through. Yeah. But it's clearly supposed to be a Foo Fighters gig. She leaves. She goes back to work. She takes her lunch with her, and now he's in a predicament because he's just told her that he's an entertainment fixer for the entertainment industry, but he also needs to go to her shop to get this watch altered for his client. So now it's quite awkward. But he's like, "No, I'm going to go and do it. I'm going to go and ask her out."
Yeah.
I'm going to go and ask her out and I'm going to get this watch altered. So he does. He goes to the shop and the rest of this film now is pretty much set in this shop.
He goes to the jewellers and he talks to Charlie Morgan.
Yeah, he meets Charlie.
And he shows him some diamonds from the Titanic.
Yeah. Which I presume was the real jewellery that was worth more than the budget of this film.
but at this point, Sam is still doing his act of being a rich young person. He's not walked in and said to Charlie, I need to get this watch. Can you alter this watch,
please? No, he's coming in on the pretense that he's going to be rich and buy some jewellery. While this conversation is going on, Mary comes out. She chats to him as she was doing earlier. And then the two robbers come in.
They do. The crooks are here.
The bad guys are here. And they are after a specific butterfly piece of jewellery that we met earlier on in the film.
They are indeed.
Sam gets hit in the head with a gun straight away.
He is pistol whipped.
He is pistol whipped.
Well and truly. The alarm starts going off. The panic
Charlie
button's
triggers
been
the panic
hit.
button. They don't shut the shutters yet. That comes later on. I will talk about that in a minute.
There's another person in the shop. There's another punter in the shop.
Yeah.
This is the same woman who we saw in the hotel earlier.
Yes, it was,
just for coincidence, because London's tiny.
Tiny, yeah.
Yeah.
There's like 2 buildings and a cafe.
Yeah.
Charlie says at this point, if you steal this butterfly brooch, this is one of the most famous pieces of jewellery in the world. If you steal this, it's like stealing the Mona Lisa. You're not going to be able to sell it.
Yeah, so no one's going to fence it for you.
Yeah, you're never going to get rid of it. It's pointless. Then instantly the old woman who's in the shop also takes a bullet.
Yeah, well, she's screaming. She's like,
she won't shut up.
Adding to the chaos.
She won't shut up, so they just shoot her.
Yeah, she just gets shot dead.
She gets shot dead. And then the police show up. There's a bit
the crooks go to leave.
Yeah, they go to run because they've just shot somebody.
Yeah,
and they've got the butterfly.
I don't know if they had it at that point or not. Anyway, it doesn't matter.
I think
they decide to leave anyway.
Yeah. They go outside, and then all the cops turn up, and there's a bit of a shootout.
I mean, the response time from these police, well, let's just say it's not realistic.
Yeah, they were there within seconds. There's a bit of a shootout. One of the cops gets killed, and also one of the robbers gets shot in the leg.
Right in the
ankle.
Yeah.
Takes him out. So they head back inside. They're like, we need to retreat back to where we've just come from. So the robber gets dragged back inside by his mate.
Shut the shutters.
Drop the shutters, and then they've got some hostages now.
Yeah.
We've got Sam, Mary, and Charlie as hostages. The younger one of the two has been shot in the ankle, and so they stake the place out. They're going to try and see if there's a back door. Can we get out anywhere? This is a high-end jewellers. There's no other exits.
There is a back door or another door out, but again, the police are outside.
Yeah.
You can see the lights.
There's a fire escape out the back, but the police are out there. Mary confirms to them there isn't any other ways out because there's the high-end jewellers and we can't have loads of entrances. That'd be stupid. And Charlie stands up to these guys. Charlie is not intimidated by these guys pretty much for the whole film.
He looks like it's Timothy Spall. He's a man who looks like he's seen some things.
Yeah, he's been through some shit in his life,
Yeah.
I think. He stands up to him. He ends up getting smacked by the gun. The robbers reveal their names at this point, and they're called Cameron and Clegg.
I mean, dates this movie, doesn't it?
It does, it really does. It really.
Do you
really
think in
does.
2012 people were like, ah,
That's great.
It's
Great
the-
names.
it's the-
They were clearly
it's the Prime
nicknames, but
Minister and
yeah,
the
it was-
Deputy Prime Minister.
yeah, it was bizarre. The phone rings. It's the police. Cameron answers it. He can't answer it because he's got a stammer and he can't talk, so he hangs the phone up.
I mean, that feature of this character came and went when it was useful for the filmmakers, didn't it?
Certainly did. When he does these big long speeches, he's absolutely fine.
Yeah.
When he's trying to talk to the police, he can't do it. Yeah.
Lazy. Lazy characterization, I thought.
I agree. It's unnecessary as well.
Yeah, totally. And it doesn't. The fact these guys stutter does that add? There's like one insult that gets thrown at him later, but this character didn't need to. There was no development because of this.
It feels
feature.
like a really route one, where a director's gone, oh, do something with your character, make your character yours, and he's just gone, I'll give him a stammer.
Yeah,
it's a really route one thing to do, isn't it? Charlie's like, show some respect, and then he says, "You can't kill me, I'm dead already."
Yeah,
and I'm like, what's that mean? So I thought there was going to be some big reveal that he was dying or something.
Yeah, and because there's been no hint that this is a guy who's like given up on life.
Yeah, or he's on death's door, he's got cancer or something. That never, he hasn't. It never gets mentioned again.
Clegg.
It was a really strange line.
Yeah, Clegg, the younger robber, is now also panicking. He's like, "Oh, it's my first time."
Yeah, it's his first.
You said
robbery.
this was an easy job.
Yeah, and he's also been shot
now
in the
I've got
ankle.
A donut ankle.
Oh, he shows his ankle later on, and it's rank.
Yeah,
it's a really good bit of makeup, but it's horrible. Cameron says he's got no issue with shooting all of them if he needs to. Clegg takes all of their phones off them. Charlie doesn't have one because he's an old man. Old men don't have phones in the film world.
Charlie's got a dead wife. That's why he's sad and why he's got nothing to live for.
Yep.
He says, her name was Clara. That's what this shop's called and named it after her.
Yeah.
She's still dead, though.
Clegg speaks to the cops. Mary says, "What's your plan?"
Yeah, because Clegg says to Cameron, "Oh, should we ask for a helicopter?
Yeah.
What are we asking for?" And Cameron says, "You stupid boy.
Just don't be such an idiot.
Start low. Ask for a reduced sentence.
Yeah.
3 years, and we'll take it."
Yeah, because they didn't mean they wanted to. They thought they'd go in there, take that brooch, and leave.
Yeah,
but they've now accidentally killed somebody and potentially a cop as well. Mary stands up to them at this point. She asks them what they're thinking, what they're doing,
and they clearly have no plan. They did not plan to be in this situation.
No, they didn't at all. Sam kind of stands up to Mary. He's like, "Sit down. What are you doing? Why are you confronting these idiots?" With
and they argue because Mary says to Sam, "I'm not someone who sticks my head in the sand like you."
Yeah. She's
She's
not a fan of Sam at this point.
I think I'm with her, to be honest.
Okay.
We'll get into that.
Cameron and Clegg go looking for some painkillers for Clegg's leg.
And some restraints for the hostages.
Yes. And then Mary's like, "I've got an appointment at 7. Do you think we'll be out of here by then?"
Yeah, she's got to go and have a jab.
Got to go have a jabs.
Because she's travelling
at
afar.
7. At 7. Who goes to a doctor's at 7? Yeah, she's going to Africa, or she's going to India, Thailand, and then Australia.
In that order.
In that order, and she's not planning on coming back. That's what she actually says. I'm going in that order. Charlie reveals to Cameron and Clegg that there is an old fire escape that is not on the building plans.
Yeah, because they had work done.
They've boarded it up, and it's behind the wall.
See, it says there's a false ceiling. The ceiling in the back is false.
Yeah.
You can then crawl along it, and there's a fire escape.
You get to the fire escape
Yeah.
in the wall. But you'll need to cut through the ceiling, and you've got no tools.
Yeah.
I've got no tools as a jeweler's. The only tool I've got is a little tiny saw.
Yeah,
a jewellery
like little
saw.
dueling tools.
Yeah. So Cameron decides, well, I'm going to use that tiny little saw
I'm not going anywhere, am I?
to go through the ceiling. He puts some classical opera music on and starts sawing away at the ceiling. I'm not kidding you, a saw that's about 1 inch long.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good.
Meanwhile, that's sort of intercut with Clegg trying to negotiate with the cops, which is not going well.
Yeah. When he starts playing the opera, Charlie says, "Oh, he's got surprisingly good taste for a psychopath." I thought it was quite a funny line.
Which, and again, the balance of this film was all off for me because to this point, these are just a couple of crooks. They've seen an opportunity. Okay, they've not planned it, but they're going for it. And it's the first time Charlie sort of says, "Oh, this guy's a psychopath."
Yeah.
And then from now on, he just is a psychopath.
Yeah, he is.
I was like, what's going on?
Charlie can manifest things in reality.
Because that's kind of how it felt to me.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, this guy's now dangerous. I just...
Yeah,
I know he's already shot someone.
I say he was pretty dangerous to start with. If somebody shot an old woman in front of you, you'd call them a psychopath.
Yeah, but it flips, doesn't it? From like, oh, they're kind of not nice guys, but do you know what?
Yeah.
The threat level, even though they shot someone and threatened to kill these other three, I never felt any of these three were in danger.
No, I was going to make that point. You never feel any danger towards your three main characters.
Yeah.
Even when they've got guns to their heads, you know they're never.
The crux kind of did to go from a bit scene to scene of bit of banter, to yeah, you're in danger. I just didn't buy it.
No,
I just didn't buy them as threats. Really,
I think that's fair. Sam's truth gets revealed at this point. They find out that he actually does only work in a hotel. He's just a concierge's assistant. Mary takes great offence to this. She says she doesn't like liars.
Yeah,
and she's not a big fan.
I think you've got bigger problems here at this stage.
Clegg comes out and ties them all up. Charlie says to Sam, "Why is a hotel concierge wearing a $10,000 watch?"
Yeah,
and he's like, "Well, that's why I was coming here. I was coming here to meet you to get it altered. That's why I'm here."
Sam's boss then turns up.
We cut to the back
at the cafe down the road.
Morgan.
He's trying to sweet talk the police because he's like, "Oh, hotel's got some VIPs come in. I need you to open the road."
Yeah, I need you to open the road. He's obviously got some sway because even the police inspector's like, "Okay, well,
see what we can do
for you." But he doesn't care a single piece that his mate.
Yeah, because Elliot's like,
in this hotel.
Elliot says to him, "Well, are you not going to ask about? Do you not care about something?" And he's like,
"I'm more interested in the watch."
He's like, "Oh, well, he's got a watch that I'm supposed to give back to a guest. I'm really annoyed if he's late."
Yeah. Charlie gives us a bit of exposition on why the brooch is so valuable at this point.
Yeah, it's Napoleon's butterfly.
It was commissioned by Napoleon and is worth $1 million and change, according to Charlie. It is exquisite and flawless in every way. That's his words.
And then this is the other thing I didn't buy. Well, it didn't come across well about the villain. So we're now into cut with Cameron. He keeps fixating on this like photograph of Mary.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, is this telling me that they know each other? Have they got a previous thing? But no, it's just
weird.
Yeah.
When he hugs her that bit later on.
Yeah.
It was strange. Then we cut. Cameron's now still trying to cut through the ceiling.
Yes.
And Clegg's gone off somewhere. So Sam sees his opportunity and tries to get out. So he opens the shutters up.
Yeah.
And he manages to crawl through really slowly.
Yes.
The policemen see him.
Yeah.
The policemen beckon him out. But then Clegg catches him because it took him like 20 minutes to crawl through this little gap.
It was, again, just didn't inject any drama in it for me.
No, it didn't. There was no... He could have easily got out.
Yeah.
And then the whole thing would have been over. But he didn't. Clegg drags him back in and then headbutts him. And he says, "You were so lucky that was me that found you." And I was like, yeah, that's a good point. He was.
Cameron comes in,
he
finds out what's happened.
He knows all this kerfuffle's going on.
And then seems to shoot Charlie.
Yeah, he fake shoots Charlie.
It's off screen. Yeah, we don't see him.
Shoots a cushion instead.
So then he's back next scene and no one speaks of it again.
Yeah. And then the old lady's body's out in the street.
Oh, yeah.
How did that happen?
Don't know.
No, the police take away the old lady's body.
We get is it a news report or just an exposition? Someone says, "Oh yeah, they've sent her body out onto the street."
Yeah,
but no, that's never mentioned.
No.
So we're with these characters stuck in this room, and no one says, or we never see the conversation that goes, "Oh, we're going to send her body out."
I presume that's
to prove that we're
for some reason.
Prove that we're serious.
Because it was weird that in the scene, it's just the scene starts with Charlie just halfway out the door.
Yeah, Sam,
halfway out the door. So I presume there's a scene been cut somewhere along the line of the body being taken out, and
or them at least discussing.
Yeah,
we're going to send her out.
It's really strange. Morgan is very concerned for the watch, but he doesn't care shit about Sam. Couldn't care less. And then Charlie and Sam have a bit of a chat, and it turns out they both grew up in the same area.
Yeah, similar backgrounds.
Yeah, they're both from Camden. They both lived in the same sort of area. Then Cameron does that weird scene with Mary where he grabs her, holds her up against the wall, and then starts crying and hugging her.
Yeah, and praying.
Yeah, it just goes a little bit weird.
Yeah, like he's going off the rails, but it just didn't work. Didn't work.
And then Sam's like, leave her alone. And he calls him an imbecile, and that
Yeah, this is where he's
that-
like, oh, you're impotent. You can't get words out your mouth.
Yeah,
blah, blah,
you're an
and it's
imbecile.
yeah.
Which he punches Sam and knocks him out. And then he holds a gun to Clegg's head because Clegg's like, what the fuck? Calm
we don't
down.
need to shoot
We
anyone
don't need
else.
to shoot anybody else. Clegg then unties Mary and tells her to sort herself out because she's all flustered because this man's just hugged her. And then he checks on Sam and he unties all of them.
As Sam goes to like Charlie and says, "Can you please tell me more of your jewellery stories? It'll help pass the time."
He says to Mary, Mary's like, I'll tell you my favourite jewellery story. And then it goes on for, I'm not kidding you, 5 minutes
Yeah, I think so.
of her telling a story
Yeah.
about this ruby and diamond bracelet that she's got, that she wears. It goes on. I've written here, I don't care about this story, and it goes on for ages.
Basically, there was a duke who was betrothed to a duchess. The duchess actually liked the duke's friend. The duke's friend gave her this bracelet, saved the duke's life, ended up dying.
Yep.
She was never with the one she loved.
Why do we need to know?
Yeah, so
It's a piece of jewellery that Mary's
filler,
wearing.
isn't
It's
it?
not even anything that's in the shop. It's not a part. It's not a subplot to the film. It's not a point to the film. It's just really strange. Cameron hears this story and then just takes the bracelet from her. So he's like, oh, that must be worth something.
yeah,
then.
sounds expensive. I love that.
Just don't go telling stories of jewellery when you've been robbed because they're obviously going to rob it from you. Sam says, next time the cops call, can you please order some food and some medical supplies? Because we've all been hit by guns now.
Yeah.
And Mary's a little bit flustered.
And we're quite hungry.
And also, you need some medical supplies because your ankle's in a mess. And we're quite hungry. And he even says to him, can you order some food from my mate's cafe around the corner?
The mushroom risotto is really good.
mushroom.
And I guess he was doing it to like send a message to his mate, saying, "Look, I'm still alive." But it just came across again as really hipster and pretentious. You just
Pretty
got
sure
this
you can't
kid
just
going
call the cops and go, can I have a mushroom risotto from the cafe around the corner?
in a hostage situation. But it just came across really pretentious, didn't it? Oh yes, we must all try the mushroom risotto.
Yeah, it did. It was really strange. It was
He couldn't relate to any of these people.
No. Charlie needs a wee. Charlie goes off for a wee. They untie him. They untie everybody else. Clegg mentions to Sam that he knows him and he knows that Sam knows him too.
Yeah.
Which is interesting. Because at this point I was like, Sam's definitely in on this.
Yeah, I was
100%
going back and forth on it.
I was convinced that he was. I thought at the start that it was Mary that was, but I was 100% convinced by this point that Sam was.
Sure. I thought it was an odd performance by Craig Roberts in this.
He's an odd guy though.
Yeah.
He does odd. He's odd in Submarine as well. He's just
I know.
He does odd performances.
But I don't know. I'm not really sure what he was going for here.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? It was.
He's almost emotionless, isn't he? He never shows really.
And
any
I think
emotion.
maybe that's part of the problem why I couldn't really get on board with some of this.
Yeah.
I didn't really. I don't think I was invested in any of these characters.
No,
I wouldn't have cared if it had ended in a bloodbath and no one walked out alive.
Yeah, it doesn't.
No, it doesn't.
It definitely doesn't. Cut back. Cameron is still trying to cut through the ceiling.
Yep.
That's still happening. He's only made about a 10-inch hole by now.
Yeah.
And it's in a straight line as well. It's not even just a hole. It's a straight line. Sam goes out into the street to pick up the food.
Yeah, he does.
And then goes back in again. He's literally out in the street. Clegg's leg is not looking good. It's all swollen and there's a bullet in there and everything's crazy. They all eat the mushroom risotto.
They all agree it's fantastic.
Except for Mary. Mary doesn't have any.
She says, why are we eating in this situation?
I think because she brought some earlier, so I think she's probably already eaten. She's probably full. And then Sam tells Charlie that he's got this business idea about this restaurant that he wants to open with his mate who's the chef who made this risotto and it's amazing. Charlie's interested. Charlie's engaging with Sam's business.
Yeah, he's like, it's good to have a dream. I had a dream when I was a kid. And Sam tells us the history that he was adopted by Elliot's family.
Yep.
So we get all that backstory.
Yeah.
I still didn't really care.
No. But I thought they were building up to this big twist of Sam being involved.
Yeah.
He knew that Charlie was rich and he needed some money for people to invest in his bit. That's where I thought this film was going. It isn't where this film was going, but we'll get to it at the end. We're not far away now. Charlie says to Sam, why don't you ask Mary out while Mary's sitting right next to them?
Yes, that's really weird.
And Mary says no before she just says no before he even does ask. And then Charlie just grins at him. And she reveals that she thinks Sam's part of all of this.
Yeah, and then
which is the point where I thought, well, he's obviously not then.
Yeah, then we get some of these more artsy musical interludes.
Yeah. And she's like, I don't believe you are not involved in this. I genuinely feel like you're doing this. And he's like, if I was involved in this, why would I have the butterfly?
Yeah.
And he's got the butterfly brooch in his pocket. And she's like, I don't even think you've got Foo Fighters tickets. And he's like, I have got Foo Fighters tickets. I don't know how he'd got them in his pocket because he only came up with the idea when
No,
he was
he
in the
bought
car
them off the tout in the cafe.
Oh, did he? Okay,
Yeah.
fair enough. That's handy that music was playing whilst the doubt in the cafe was there selling the tickets. And then she's like, okay, I trust you then. She's absolutely fine with it then. But it ruined what the twist that I thought was coming.
Yeah, and then what is only, I think, 5 minutes of movie time, an unspecified number of hours of time in actual time. Cameron has suddenly cut a whole massive trapdoor in the
Big
ceiling.
enough to get through.
Yeah.
2 minutes ago, he had a slit in the ceiling. He gets through, and there's nothing up there.
Yeah, he's pretty.
He
pissed
realises
off
that Charlie was lying. He is not happy, and he shouts from the back room to the front, "I'm coming to shoot someone." And you're like, okay. He gets on the phone to the police. He tells the police they've got 5 minutes to give him everything he wants.
Yeah.
Or he's going to start shooting people. Someone else will die.
He then says he's going to shoot Sam.
Sam's going to be the first one. Yep, he does say that. Charlie's like, no, it should be me. And he's like, no, you need to live to see the consequences of your actions of lying to me.
Right, and now is the biggest problem I had with this movie.
Okay.
Because while this 5 minute countdown's going on to hear back from the police, Sam basically takes Mary aside, and I thought this was really sexist. He basically says, you don't want to go on that trip. You don't want to go to all those nice places and find yourself and have a good time. And he basically says, you just need to stay here and find yourself a man.
He does.
I was like, where the fuck's that come from?
Yeah.
Honestly, it really pissed me off.
And there was like 2 minutes before she was convinced he was involved in all of this.
Yeah.
And then he's like, well, you need to just settle down with me. It was a bit of a strange line. But she suddenly believes him now. She suddenly believes that he's not involved. The cops call back to Cameron. We don't know what the cops say, but he just says wrong answer. And then he drags Sam across the floor.
Yeah.
So he's got a gun pointed to Sam's head. Clegg then pulls the gun on Cameron. And Cameron's like, do you really think I'd give you a loaded gun?
Yeah. And
Clegg's gun's empty. And
Cameron shoots him in the shoulder.
Sam then distracts... There's so many names. Sam then distracts Cameron with the butterfly.
Yeah, he goes, oh, shiny
Look
butterfly.
what I've got. When he does that, Mary knocks him out. Bangs him around the head with something.
That's it. Heist over.
Yeah, pretty much.
What a fucking anticlimax. Never see those bad guys again.
So Sam wakes up. We find out that Sam does know Clegg. They went to school together.
Yeah, he says his real name is Carl.
Carl, he was the school psycho. Yeah. Every school's got a psycho. He was the school psycho. This is we've been calling him Charlie Morgan all the way through this, but this is the reveal where Morgan is Charlie's surname.
Yeah. Because
Morgan is also Sam's boss's surname. The cops call. Sam says, Charlie answers the phone. He's like, it's all over. They're both down. And then we're in the cafe pretty much after that.
Yeah.
Sam's being reunited with Elliot. They're all happy that they're both alive still. They're all eating more mushroom risotto. I don't know how much of this stuff this guy's made.
Sam says, oh yeah, I tried to put a good word in for Carl.
Yeah.
With the police.
Yeah. He went to school with him.
Yeah.
Fair. Morgan comes in, Sam's boss, and he basically fires Sam.
Yeah, he didn't get
the job done. He didn't get the watch back by 5 o'clock. So he's fired. And then when he walks outside, Charlie's outside having a fag, and he thanks, I think he said Harry. I'm sure his name was Harry. He thanks him for, presumably for sacking Sam.
Yeah.
And giving him a kick up the arse. He needs to get his life sorted. It turns out they're brothers.
Yes.
They're which threw me a little bit because I feel like Timothy Spall was a lot older than the other guy. I thought it was going to say dad or something. Charlie goes into the restaurant. He wants some food as well. They make him some different food because he wants to see how good Elliot is as being a chef. It turns out Charlie not only owns the jewellers, he also owns the cafe and every building in between the jewellers and the cafe. He basically owns the whole block. Him and his wife brought the jewellers, they had a lot of money, so they brought everything.
And he says, if you guys get me your business plan, I will have a look at it.
Yep.
I'll send it to my accountant, and if he likes it, I might invest in you guys.
I will invest in you guys in this cafe. You can have it as your restaurant.
Yeah.
Vici, I think he said he wanted to call it. And then he gives Mary the priceless ruby diamond bracelet.
Sure.
Just gives it to her.
Yeah.
And she's like, well, I'm not going anywhere now.
Yeah,
I'm going to stick around and go out with this
She's
guy.
like, yeah, I decided I'm not going to travel to these beautiful countries.
Well, to be fair, she did miss the appointment for her jabs.
Yeah, well, yeah.
So she can't really go anyway.
says, "I think I'll stay," and then she basically gives a wink at Sam,
Yep.
who she has hated for this whole movie.
Yeah,
Apart
absolutely.
from about 2 minutes.
Absolutely
of it.
hated him. Just before all that's done, dusted, and sorted, and then Charlie walks out. And as he walks out, he's like, "Oh, by the way, I want 51% of your business."
Yeah.
Well, you did say a minute ago you wanted to see the business plan, but now you seem to have gone Dragon's Den mode.
And then Mary says to Sam, "So we're going to this concert or what?"
Yeah, they all celebrate. They've got their business. They've got their concert. Charlie and Johnny, his name was not Harry. Charlie and Johnny Morgan, they leave together. They're brothers. They walk off together. Elliot goes outside for a smoke, and then Sam says to him, to Sam, "Right, shall we go to this gig?" And the film ends.
Yeah.
What did you think?
Flimsy.
Yeah,
There's nothing to this movie.
I didn't hate it.
Whilst I was watching it, I didn't hate it.
Yeah, I thought it was actually quite entertaining. It's a decent heist movie. It's not pulling any trees, but it's all right. But the more you think about it afterwards, it's a bit flimsy.
Nothing to it.
I think flimsy's a good word.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a shame, but it's all right. It's a Saturday night pizza and a Magnum film.
It's not even that good. It's not interesting enough that I was fine whilst I was watching it. I thought this is a bit odd. The more I thought about it after, I was like, I didn't enjoy it.
I actually thought it went quite quick.
Yeah.
Pace wise, I thought it worked. It kind of kept me interested.
But then I started to think about it and some of the points I wanted to make. I was like, no, didn't really like anyone in it.
Yeah.
I'm not necessarily the acting is bad, but these again paper thin characters. I thought all of these.
Absolutely.
I thought the threat level was pretty much zero. I didn't think any of these three main characters were dying at any point.
No.
And then every time I felt like, oh, I'm quite interested, I got interrupted by a 2-minute artsy.
That was
fartsy
really those
kaleidoscope
two scenes where they're just like talking about the history of some of the jewellery in the shop.
Yeah.
It's completely unnecessary. And then there's a whole scene missing where the old lady's body gets pushed out.
Yeah, this movie is not good enough to be as pretentious as it is.
It is quite pretentious. Just the title alone is pretentious. I assume it's a quote from something. Yeah. But
it didn't do much for me.
I didn't hate it. I enjoyed it whilst I was watching it, but it hasn't stuck around with me.
I am not remembering this in a couple of weeks, let alone.
Yeah, it's going to be one of them when we get to the stream table. Like, what was that one again?
Remember that one?
What was that? Like Secret Obsession last year. I was like, which one was that? It's going to be one of them, I think. But it was all right.
Yeah,
it's all right.
Honestly, I don't. Yeah, it's frustrating to sit through. Well, it happens, doesn't it? You watch a movie like this and it's like, oh, well.
It is just meh. That's a great one-word review of it. It's just meh. It's fine. I've seen that now.
Yeah.
I
had zero investment.
I'm not emotionally invested in it, but I didn't hate it. It's just past an hour and a half of my life away.
Yeah.
It's fine. What's the best thing about it?
The shop was nice.
The shop was nice. Yeah, there's not a lot of good.
I don't know. I'm not sure. Do you know what is the best thing about it? I mean, it is a nice butterfly.
Yeah, it is a nice, but some of the jewelry's cool. I quite like the ending that Sam gets what he wants, but I think
I hated that. I thought this was.
It's a very smoochsy ending.
I thought the character of Mary was
pointless,
completely let down by the writing in this film.
Yeah.
The fact that when he was just like, "Oh, you just need to stay and find a man," I was like, "That is fucking insulting."
It really is.
And then she just goes, "Oh yeah, all right then,"
and then does.
Yeah, I was like, "This is." No one in this movie speaks like real people speak.
No, that's true. I'll give you that. That is true.
It's hipster and annoying.
Fair. So, what would you change about it? I know the answer to this before you talk, but you go.
I'd kill one of them.
Would you?
Yeah.
Which one?
I don't really care. There's not enough threat in this movie.
No, there's not. Even though 2 people do get killed, there's not enough threat.
Yeah, the crooks are both imbecilic yet trying to be threatening at the same time. So they kind of need to pick a lane. The characterization of everyone in this is
Cameron is the worst character.
Yeah.
Because then he just gets knocked out at the end and you never see him again. He gets no backstory to him. You get more backstory on
He's
Clay.
literally distracted by a shiny thing and then hitting the head with the bars. And that's it. It's all over.
You literally never see him again.
No.
You know what happened to him at all.
What was the question?
What would you change about it? Can I tell you what I'd change?
Yeah, please.
I think you can change this whole film with one line at the end.
Okay.
When Sam just turns to Elliot and says, "I told you that'd work."
Yeah.
It changes the whole thing.
I'd
If
at least go, yeah, fair play.
Yeah.
At least you've tried to do something
Exactly.
different.
If you put that, it's literally all it needs.
Yeah.
If he has done the research and knows that Charlie's rich, knows he owns this cafe, knows he can get him to invest, sets this whole thing up, just goes at the end to Elliot, told you. But it changes the whole thing.
Yeah, there's
It's
loads
so
of ways
simple.
you could do it as well.
Just
Because
put a twist at the end of it.
you could do like as they're eating their pasta and what's it? Charlie Morgan's walked out the door. His business plan flops open and there's all that detail written down or something.
The whole build up to the twist is there because he's telling Charlie about his business plan and while the heist is going on. He knows one of the robbers.
Or you could have Elliot and Sam and Mary all raise a glass at the end together.
Yeah, say,
Told you
well,
it
that
would
worked.
work.
Yeah, we ripped off this old man.
Yeah.
It
Give it at least
It
give it
builds-
a talking point, wouldn't it? It would.
It builds all the way through. It builds to the twist,
Hmm.
and then it doesn't do it. It bottles its twist.
It is a fucking rom-com thing that's like I have not got a problem with rom-com, but this is really not very nice to women. I would say with the way it's written for Mary.
You can tell how we haven't got a lot to say about it because we're really early in the episode of where we've got to this point. We're usually a lot later in. But should we talk stream table?
Yeah.
What are your thoughts? We've got 3 films in there currently. Do you want me to read through them?
Yeah, let's go for it.
Target currently is the bottom. The Parts You Lose is second, and All at Sea is at number 1. They're all much of a muchness. Any one of them could be at number 1. Any one of them could be at number 3. We've got a middle section of a stream table before we've got a stream table. That's what we've got. Where does this one fit into this bracket?
Do you want to put it third or fourth? That's where I am. I don't know about you. I liked last week's movie more.
I liked last week's movie about the same. I'd put it.
Aaron Paul was better in last week's. The performances in last week's movie are better than the performances in this week's movie. Although last week's movie is deeply flawed.
They're both deeply flawed.
Yeah.
All 4 of these movies are deeply flawed.
Yes.
Now, we're building, like I've just said, we're building a middle section of a stream table. This fits perfectly with those 3 films. It could go anywhere. It could be the best one, could be the worst one. It doesn't matter either way. It's definitely better than Target.
Yeah. I'd put it third, I think, for me.
Yeah, just because I don't care enough. Yeah.
It's tough to argue.
I think it's slightly better than The Parts You Lose, personally. But it's very marginal.
I think
I'm happy.
I think The Parts You Lose edges it on me technically in terms of cinematography and
it's a more
directing.
It's a more rounded film, isn't it?
Yeah, it falls apart when you get to the plot and the narrative.
We're talking minuscule things.
Yeah.
All 4 of those films could be anywhere between.
But for me, it edges it just on performances and cinematography, I think.
Yeah. Okay.
I think this is a really interesting start to this season because it is wide open still. We're 4 weeks in now, and these are pretty interchangeable and just a bit. I'll continue the seed theme. They're just a bit of driftwood. All these 4.
They
aren't
are. We've not had a strong start to a season, I must admit.
But none of them are terrible.
There's no. Target's pretty terrible. But
but they're not. They're not on the level of some of the absolute shit we see.
No,
on this,
not at all.
On this
not at all. But then also nowhere near on the level of the good stuff that we eventually see on this show. Yeah. There's an opening for something to blow our minds at the minute.
Sure.
Because we've not had our minds blown so far.
No.
Speaking of which, should we bring out Robin?
Let's do it.
Robin?
Let's find out what is on.
What's on next week? What do you want? Something good? Or something bad?
Yes.
Something good or something bad? Something that's going to not be boring.
Well, no,
boring's not the right word.
No, this is why I'm struggling a bit with categorising this movie, because I wasn't bored.
No, I wasn't. I actually quite enjoyed it. When it finished, I was like, I thought that was all right.
Yeah.
But then the more you think about it afterwards, I've kind of got to your level.
The further it's gone in the whatever it's been 2 days since I watched this, I've liked it less.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which was also the same with The Parts You Lose last week.
Yeah. And
maybe as I'm looking back through my notes and I'm starting to think about it, I was like, no, that doesn't hold up. That doesn't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's try and find something decent.
Let's do it.
You ready?
Yeah.
Volume's not turned on. I've not done that for ages. Leave me alone. It has picked a film called The Land of Steady Habits.
Okay.
Any ideas?
None whatsoever.
No. Let me just find it on IMDb then, and we will have a look to see what it is, shall we? It's a comedy drama
Okay.
from 2018. Do you want the synopsis?
Yes, please.
After leaving his wife and his job to find happiness, Anders befriends a drug-addicted teen, sending him down a path of reckless and shameful behaviour.
Okay.
Man befriends teen, goes crazy. Ben Mendelsohn's in it.
All right. Yeah.
Ben Mendelsohn's always good fun. So, yeah, we'll do that one, shall we?
Yeah, let's do. I'm up for that.
Sounds fun. So, yeah, go out and watch The Land of Steady Habits. And in the meantime, check us out on Instagram, Twitter, and Letterboxd. Our username is @BOTS_podcast. If you want to drop us an email, you can do that. The email address is bottomofthestream@gmail.com. And if you want to check out our website, our new look website is finally working after
Woohoo.
2 weeks of me trying to get it to work. It is bottomofthestream.com. On there, you'll find every stream table we've ever done, every episode we've ever recorded. There's links to all the socials, there's links to all sorts of stuff on there. And there's some merch if you want to buy a Bottom of the Stream
Chocolate bar.
Not like that fucking horrible Icelandic one you gave me. I don't know if you can get a Bottom of the Stream chocolate bar, but why not? Try it out. After you've done all that, head over to Patreon, patreon.com/bottom of the stream. On there, for a couple of quid every month, you can get early access to episodes. You can get bonus episodes. Nick writes a newsletter every month, and if you come in at the top level, you will get a wild card, which means you can give the Robin the week off. You can pick the film that we watch, and we'll see who picks the best wild card film of the season. Still nobody's played one yet. I'm expecting somebody to play one early, and nobody has.
Oh, tension.
Tension.
Yeah.
Somebody get a wild card in. After you've done all that, head over to Discord. Discord is where we have our community. We have lots of chats. We chat in there pretty much every day. Somebody's talking in there about something. It's probably usually rubbish. We do watch-alongs in there. We've got a watch-along planned for a couple of weeks' time.
We
3
have.
weeks' time.
What are we watching?
We're going to watch Robert.
Okay. I mean, I know what that is.
Robert is the start of a franchise that was made by the same guy who did Werewolves of the Third Reich.
Yeah. It's a haunted doll movie.
It's a haunted doll movie. The Annabelle movies were based on the same story.
Yeah.
But Robert's the real true story because it's based on a real doll. The doll's called Robert. I think there's 5 films in this franchise. And they're all on Netflix. So I don't know. We'll see how the first one goes and we'll go from there.
Yeah. Join us in Discord.
Join us in Discord. The Discord link will be in the bottom of the show notes.
And you can come and watch Robert along with us in a couple of weeks.
Absolutely. We love a watch along in there. They're really good fun. It doesn't matter. The film doesn't matter ultimately. It's just let's all laugh at this silly movie. Yeah. I'm done.
Brilliant. Well done.
Thanks.
If you can spare a few minutes, please consider leaving us a review or rating anywhere you can review or indeed rate podcasts. Podbean, Podchaser, Apple Podcasts, Spotify. What's those new ones we're on?
Samsung Podcasts.
iHeartRadio. Yeah, anywhere you can find your podcasts, we're there. Please give us a review or rating. It really helps spread the word about our show.
It does indeed.
I'm done.
We're both done.
We are done.
And then we should probably go.
Onwards and upwards.
So come back here on Monday for next week's Wave. And then on Thursday, come back for...
The Land of Steady Habits.
Thank you, because I had forgotten what it was called already.
I could tell.
So yeah, we'll be back then. Cheers.
Bye.
We've done it again.